Clifton Warren, and welcome to the Top Producer Podcast. Activity versus architecture. Most firms try to solve growth problems with more activity, but activity is not architecture. In previous episodes, I've talked about the talent trap and why hiring more people doesn't fix growth issues when the system stays the same. So if hiring doesn't work, there's another reason there's another response most firms default to. They increase activity. More calls, more meetings, more pipeline reviews, more pressure on the teams to get out there and generate new business opportunities. And on the surface, this looks like progress. It feels productive. It feels like something is happening. But this is where things start to get a little bit confused because the underlying structure has not changed. The way growth is created is still unclear. The path from market to revenue is still undefined. So what happens? Activity fills the gap. And in the short term, you might see a lift, a few wins here and there, some movement in the pipeline, enough to suggest it's working, but over time, the inconsistency returns. Because more activity applied to a weak structure doesn't create stability. It amplifies inconsistency. You get noise, not growth. You get busy, not effective. See, activity is not architecture. Effort without design leads to inconsistency. And this is where many firms get stuck, doing more and more without changing what actually drives the outcome. Busy is not the same as effective. Effectiveness comes from structure and having a defined way growth happens that activity can plug into and support. So the shift is this: from doing more to designing better. Because structure determines outcome, not effort alone. And when the structure is right, activity becomes more effective, more predictable, more scalable. And this brings us to the next step. If activity isn't the answer and hiring isn't the answer, then what is actually the answer? Well, in the next episode, I'm going to define what growth architecture really means and how it changes the way you think about growth. But let me leave you with this. If the structure doesn't change, more activity won't fix the outcome. I'm Clifton Warren. Thanks for listening.